So we're in Fresno, California, just finished installing a Bradford White 50-gallon natural gas water heater out here in the garage. Stand is existing, and then a little concrete deck is existing. So total off of slab, off of concrete floor, you are 18 to 20 inches tall, so no big deal there. We didn't touch the existing piping, so you got a gas line that's come out of the existing building, and it's run over here, and it's run down over here, and that's all good and fine. We didn't touch any of that. The only thing we've done here is tie in a new valve. But let's start here with the serial number and model number. It's a URG 250T6N as per proposal and per contract. And then there's the serial number. You can go to bradfordwhite.com, register this, get your warranty going on the product so they know where it is installed at. Starting at the bottom, adjustable strap, lower third of the water heater as per contract and code. Upper third as per contract and code. Over here, brand new shutoff valve and corrugated stainless steel supply line for the gas as per contract, so that's installed, looking good. And then up on top, a little creative here, the piping is so old in this building, we tried to begin to move the piping around and it is fused in place. So worst thing that happens is you put a wrench on it and you turn so hard that it collapses the pipe, you have a leak, or fitting snaps. We did tell you we'd give you a new valve. There it is. We usually like to demo the old valve out. And the reason why is the more that you operate that valve, it begins to leak. So leave it alone. Don't touch the multi-turn valve with the red handle. Just leave that one alone. That quarter-turn valve right there below it, that's a full port quarter-turn ball valve, 3/4. So quarter-turn on, quarter-turn off. And you can see the functionality right on the handle. It says off and on, so you know which way to go. Off would be kind of up and to the right, and then on is straight down. And then over on the hot side, pipe wasn't quite long enough, so we extended it a little bit. Both sides have hot and cold stainless steel connectors. Those are Falcon stainless steel, 3/4 inch, so 0.725 inside diameter. Down to the top of the tank, need a ladder, down to the top of the tank. And what we've got is a brass connector at the top. And let's see if we can get up there and take a look at it real quick. So we use these little extenders because you've got some heat traps that are integrated into the nipples here. It's a little plastic lip that sits over the top, and the heat trap goes down, keeps the hot from going back up the cold side, and the hot going in the correct direction over on the other side. So when you put this connector on, that rubber gasket sometimes doesn't seat very well, and you get some leaking out of here. So we just like to eliminate it, put a brass extension on, so female threads to male, and then tighten this down. So everything looks good in here. We like to test it before we go, make sure there's no moisture. So looking good here, and then of course on the hot side, looking good there. Do monitor this. The piping out here, when we leave, we really haven't had the opportunity to monitor this for anything but maybe 30 minutes to an hour. So we don't really know. So to keep an eye on this, as for the life of the water heater, take a look at these joints up here, sitting at that ball valve. We screwed this on so that, that's us right there. And so you want to just check this stuff occasionally, make sure everything's good. And so anyways, up on top, we've got the stainless steel connectors, the brass extensions. We've got brand new pipe up to ceiling. We did meet code with this new piece of dual wall B-vent that's up there. They had a piece of single wall all the way up into the attic space or into the roofing material, and then an old piece of asbestos vent that was up in there. Pulled it all out, got dual wall B vent, so that's good. Single wall down to the water heater. Relief valve is in, and then of course we made a transition over here to CPVC. Down the wall and stubbed out. It's 24 or about 22 above ground on the outside, so 6 to 24 inches is code, and so we've got it about 22. And then a nice cover plate out there to seal it. And so everything looks good. The burner is lit, and water is heating. Should be a couple hours before you have hot water. I'm going to get back up there in a minute. And what we've got down here, you can see we're set at hot. You can read the label there. Hotter water, or scalding risk increases with hotter water. So leave that down. It's about 120 right now. So leave it right there. If you want to adjust it, great, but just keep in mind as you turn that up, you run the risk of scalding. So anyways, everything looks good. Outside of that, this installation is done. So still in Fresno, California, we pulled back some Teflon tape. Just want to get a closer look at this piping up here. I'll attach this to to the first video. This will all be combined, so it'll be one video when we're done. Had a little bit of moisture here, but of course when we took this apart, we got moisture up here, and it's hard to monitor once you put it together, so we pulled back all the Teflon out of there, and so now we can see the joint real good, and we've got no moisture there, so that's good on this side. One thing we did, we noticed over here is that, and this is all existing piping, honestly, when you get into this, you start touching this pipe, it's, I don't know when this was built, 70s maybe, 70s, 80s, maybe even older, but these things start coming apart. This pipe, you put a wrench on it and it collapses. It starts bleed. Actual water will bleed through, or you snap it at a fitting. So we had to leave this alone. That's why you've got your primary valve is still in place. Don't ever touch this again. Just leave it alone. Because this will stay. Nothing will drip. Nothing will leak as long as you leave this alone. Don't touch it. Use this guy right here because you can see it's just quarter turn on, quarter turn off, and that's great. So that'll work. Over here, what we noted is you've got some corrosion on this joint right here, and there's nothing we can do about that. That's existing piping. We don't want to uninstall anything. It's not part of the contract, and it's not work that we really want to do, because iron pipe, once you start messing with it, it just falls apart. And so that's why we don't like iron pipe. Unfortunately, there's hundreds and hundreds of homes here in Fresno and Clovis that have iron pipe installed. But just monitor this. Like I was saying in the end of the first portion of this video is monitor it for any kind of weeping. So just a bead, even if there's a bead of water builds up anywhere, on your piping, on the piping we installed, bead up, takes a long time, finally it'll roll down and drip. We want to get after it at that point. We want to wait until we got so much water down here, we got damage to your brand new water heater down below. And so we did want to pull that back and check it out, which as you can see, that's corrosion right there, and I don't have a light on it. But what happens with pipe is just, it's old, so it continues to corrode. You may never have any trouble with this whatsoever, or you might have trouble with it, and I can't tell you which one it is. So, we've done, what we believe, we're supposed to do according to contract. It's all connected, all good, but monitor that stuff. If you start to get any kind of problems up here on this hotline, then we need to come in and do something here, and at that point, we're into it. Typically what happens, you start to try and disassemble iron pipe and something snaps, something breaks. So no leaks up here, no leaks in the stainless steel connectors, no leaks down at the tank. Everything looks good. Outside of that, this installation is done.